the SA Sports Show. The National Rugby League, South Australian National Rugby League final is on this weekend. Of course, last weekend we had the Sudden Death boys in.
Yeah, the prelim
Roosters
boys.
got up. We'll cover that in a minute. But Aydan Corrie from the Roosters has been good enough to come in. Ben Ramsden, who used to coach the Warriors last year, to give us a preview of the big game. 3 o'clock this Sunday at Hanson Reserve. Mate, let's start with you and the Roosters. It was supposed to be a tight game last weekend against the Eels, and you guys just got away from them.
Yeah, so I think everyone just turned up to play. They were ready to roll and ended up beating them 66-16, which is not what you expect from sort of that sudden death final, but building nicely for the grand final this weekend.
Yeah, the biggest smile on his face before we come on air about this. There he goes again.
Try and keep it.
You must have watched,
if I won by 50, I'd be smiling.
But you must have watched the show last week when they were talking about how tight and how tough it's going to be. But that's a building. You guys must have played well. So, who's the fave? They won 66 to whatever, 15. Who's the fave? Who's going to be the fave going into this?
I'd say it's a little bit equal at the moment. I think the winner's going to come down to attitude. I mean, yeah, they won by a lot of points last week, but if they come into the grand final with the wrong attitude, I think they might get nipped in the butt early and they might end up chasing their tails.
No injuries from last weekend?
No, everyone pulled up pretty good from last weekend, so we should have a full side this weekend. Ready to go against the Warriors, and Ben's exactly right. It could go 50-50. Everyone needs to turn up to play, or you'll lose that grand final.
Hey Ben, you coached the Warriors last year.
Yeah.
They're in the final this year. Has much changed from your game plan from what you've seen from last year to this year?
Lots changed. The whole team's changed, actually. I mean, there's a more stable group there now, and they got more of a stable venue, which is awesome for the club. And yeah, I think they're really moving forward in terms of a club and being competitive. So yeah.
So you're the state coach. You involved in this on the weekend?
No, I'm not.
No?
No, I'm just
Keep an eye on this bloke. Keep an eye on this bloke. See how he goes.
Hey, you know, when you sit and watch it as a state coach, because you're with the Warriors last year, you've obviously got a passion for the club. I can sense in the way you talk about it. It's hard to go to the game and look at it and not be thinking, I wouldn't mind if the Warriors got up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you are.
You know I am. Okay.
I'm not siding with the Warriors at all. I guess as the state coach, I guess I'm classed as NRLSA staff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I kind of sit in the middle there.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for either team to win. I just really hope they're both full strength. It's a good game, and they really put on a good show for the people that are going to come and watch, like families and so yeah.
So Aydan, where can you win it? You must be supremely confident after that business on the weekend, because that's a great win.
Yep. So
where do you guys? What's your record like against them in the build-up this year?
Yep.
And where do you think you can win it?
So this season, we didn't start as strong as we'd like. So the Warriors actually beaten us twice earlier in the year.
Okay.
And in the second half of the season, we've come on a strong run home and we've actually beaten the Warriors twice. So like Ben was saying before, it is 50-50 and whoever doesn't turn up to play will get beaten. I think the Warriors' biggest strength is probably their very physical side, up the middle, a lot of offloads and stuff. So I think we just need to muscle up the middle, deny that offloads, and then our points will come. I'm confident in our back line to get over the try line when we get the chance.
It's a really interesting one though, isn't it, Baz? And you guys too, and you've coached Benny, so but Aydan, they talk about the team winning form's good form. Sometimes having the break coming in, you lose a bit of momentum, but then some argue that you get up, you're nice and fresh and you're ready to go. You guys are clearly subscribing to winning form's good form.
Yep.
Warriors are subscribing to having a week off, we're nice and fresh. So, and listening to what you say, we're 2-2. There doesn't seem to be an edge anywhere, so we come back to who comes with the right attitude.
Yep.
It's hard to believe you wouldn't come with the right attitude to a grand final.
Especially if you've turned up with one in the prelim, you know what is expected.
Yeah.
Then you would take that attitude into the GF. And I know you're not fully professional and all this sort of thing, but how do you know at training, say, I don't know, when you train, when will you train this week?
So we train Tuesdays and Fridays.
Okay.
So come Friday, that's our last run before we get together Sunday. And it's all about sort of keeping everyone calm and level-headed, not letting everyone get ahead of themselves.
Okay.
And just putting it into perspective, make sure it's the right frame of mind for Sunday.
Can you tell that at training? Could you tell that last week? Because you obviously came with the right attitude to win by that margin, but was training any different?
No, we tried to keep our sort of schedule and ritual the same. And yeah, training was good last week and it was the same last night, and I expect the same on Friday.
Where do you play?
So I'm the halfback for Roosters.
Yeah. How'd you play on last weekend?
Oh, not too bad. My job's easy when the forwards do all their job. And all I got to do is get the ball and get it out to the backs and let them do their job. So if everyone else does what they're meant to do, I look a lot better than what I am.
Yeah.
Hey Ben, you sat in the coach's seat, mate. Sometimes the hardest thing being a coach during the week is to do exactly what you've said, is to just keep it calm. It's just another game, but you can't do that because the players are getting excited, the adrenaline's running, it's a grand final. You don't want to play the game on Friday's training or Saturday night, play too much in your head. What advice would you be giving to your boys now if you were talking to them this week?
Yeah, heading into these last few sessions, I would probably just give the advice of just keep it short, keep it sharp, keep it positive. In terms of a rugby league point of view, like no drop ball, let's just really get around each other. You don't want to spend a lot of time on the park. I mean, a lot of the work's done before now. You just, you might be fine-tuning just a couple of things. There might be one or two positional changes, but, I mean, like Aydan touched on before, it's just a lot of people already know their jobs. It's more about let's just fine-tune it, let's get out and do it on the weekend. Yeah.
And Saturday, we play Sunday?
Sunday.
We play Sunday. So Saturday night's a bit of a no.
We'd hope everyone would keep it low key.
Well, yeah, I was a very dedicated person myself for Saturday nights. But you have no issue with that for grand finals. You don't have a team meeting, a special team meeting or anything like that, because that would change things up. It's always been a bit of a bug of mine that a coach will all of a sudden have a team meeting because he's playing in a grand final. So he would change the routine. So Saturday night, let's get together and have a meal and a bit of a chat, whatever, before the game. That won't happen at either club?
I can't talk for the Warriors, to be honest. I mean, they train...
But you know where I'm coming from,
Yeah,
Ben,
but they train Friday nights as well. I mean, I guess if anything, if they were thinking about doing something, I guess maybe a grand final breakfast or something, just, I don't know, maybe something low-key. I don't think it would be anything drastic.
Yeah. If we're turning up for the game Sunday at 3 o'clock, who are the players we should try and keep an eye on? Who would be for the Roosters, other than yourself, of course?
So I think from the Roosters, sort of strike weapon in the forward pack, Jake Christie, and then it's sort of in our back line, I'd say Josh, our fullback. I think I'm confident in our whole team. Everyone's got ability, but sort of if I had to pick one from the forward pack, one from the back line, I think they'd probably be our two big strike weapons. Offloads up the middle and just the speed of our fullback. So. What
about the Warriors?
I don't want to really give too much away. I mean, I'm not really involved in
we'll ask
where but as a state coach, you would have a couple of players in that team that you'd be keeping your eye on. You'd be,
definitely. There's a couple of big fellas there that I would hope to cart it forward all day and really get Roosters on the back foot early. If they've got any hope of winning, really tuck the ball up the jumper and get them on the back foot.
You know, we watched the AFL and a couple of weeks ago we had Ken Hinkley, which we're not just using him because he's the most recent one, targeted a player to try and keep quiet for the game. Is that something that happens in the rugby, or is it too team orientated really to isolate one player?
So we focus on all our own roles first. So if everyone gets our job right as your individual players, your team will perform well. But we are aware of certain players in the other team and what they possess, i.e. they're good at taking the ball to the line, they're good at offloading, or they're really agile, so you need to put pressure on them from certain directions. But we are more focused on just ourselves and our individual and team roles, and we can worry about them
I want to
later.
know how you focus on a big guy that's going to put up his jumper and he's coming at you at flat chat. What's the focus there?
So my focus is to pull my forwards across and help me out and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Get in the car.
I was in Canberra for a while because Sam Bacco was playing there, Mal Meninga and those guys, and I'm always thinking they've got a full head of steam up and they're coming straight towards me where am I going with this? Because you can't pull them down.
So I'm the speed bump and I wait for someone to come help me.
Over the top. All right, got to get down to it, boys. Roosters by how much?
Roosters by 6.
By 6.
By 6 for the Roosters.
Yeah.
Ben, the Warriors by how much?
Why are you assuming I'm going for the Warriors?
Well, last year you were
on
neutral ground. Well, who do you think's going to win then?
I actually think I actually think it'll be really close. Like I said earlier, I touched on it. I reckon it's going to come down to attitude.
Yep.
And I actually think the Warriors. You might not know about rugby league here, but they're like the Queensland.
Oh, okay.
So if they're a couple of tries down at half time, I wouldn't write them off at all.
Yep.
So I think the Warriors will come back and they'll win by 2 points.
Ooh, that's 6 and 2.
6 and 2. Hanson Reserve, 3 o'clock on Sunday. Get down and support the boys. It will be an absolute belter. The Roosters up against the Warriors. Stay with us.